Hey, good morning everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss Pre-Market Report for July 19th, 2016. I'm Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. Prices continue to hold above our 2120 key level and are forming a very narrow range. This range right here, super tightly coiled, implies further sideways movement until expansion occurs. Given the fact that we are trending higher here, I'd watch 2140 very closely, because if price peaks below that level and sees rejection, that could be another opportunity to buy it for another push higher. Very similar to what happened here. When price rallied, it held. It tried to break down and failed here, and eventually formed a tail the rest of that day. That led to a next move up. So that's going to be something to watch here. If the price breaks below 2140 and can't hold, or can't get back above it, then clearly 2120 is going to be the next target, and this could be an area where bulls want to target for a buy opportunity and a retest of highs. But until this happens, we're likely going to see further sideways action. As a matter of fact, if you take a look at our PivotBoss ADR method and take a look at our advanced ADR with a 5-day average range, down here you can see these pink levels right here tell you that the current 5-day range, is less than 65% of average 5-day range over the last 10 weeks. That tells you that the average ranges are very tightly coiled. What happens after that is usually after a tightly coiled period of time, you see expansion. So right now could be kind of a stand on the sidelines until expansion occurs. Once that occurs, we could see the next significant move in this index. Let's take a look at the intraday time frame. On an intraday basis right now, VWAP has been offered. The previous session's close has been offered. We have a downtrending VWAP for the most part. So this is something to keep in mind. Right now, previous session's close is offered. So any push into 2160 in the previous close could be a quick selling opportunity around this zone for a return back to 5-day VPOC, which is 2155s, rather intraday VPOC. So that's going to be something to watch out for. Again, not really a whole lot to do just now other than fade the edges. So this LVN right here, 2150, should price get into this zone, that could be a quick buy opportunity back up. So right now 2160 can lead 2155s. 2150 could lead back to 2155s as well. That's the short-term idea. Otherwise, you got to really stand aside and just wait for this thing to shake out. Let's take a look now at crude oil. Here's crude oil. Let's look at a daily time frame of crude oil. So far, crude has been going sideways around our 45.91s and 45.88s. 45.91 is the bottom of the key range here. So we had this key range develop. That's the bottom here. We've had a nice reversal off the zone, and ever since price failed to hold below it, it's just chopped back and forth around it. 45.88 is the MC VPOC. That's 2-year VPOC. 1-year VPOC is 45.60. So right now you see a lot of value at this area, and that's why prices are chopping around that zone. This isn't going to last forever. We should see some expansion out of this area, but right now, again, it's just very tightly coiled at the moment. If prices are able to get above 47s here, we do have some rounded off price action in the hourly chart, and above 47s could easily lead to a rally back toward recent highs at 50. So keep 47s on the radar. Likewise, a break below recent lows here, 45.50s, could easily lead to a move to new lows down into our next key levels, which are 43 and 42. So right now, it's really tough to tell. What I've told our traders in the trading room is the fact that price is trading around MC VPOC and composite VPOC means that there's no edge here. There's no edge at value. That's where the market wants to trade it, and until we see expansion from this range, we're likely going to continue to chop around. So again, you got to be very careful and patient ahead of the next move. If we take a look at the intraday time frame, here we are. You can see 47s. Actually, let's go to an hourly chart. So we'll go back out for a moment, and let's bring this into an hourly. One thing that you'll notice in an hourly time frame is how prices are rounded off here on the bottoms. Very rounded price action here like this. You can see 47s here with the LVN. This 45.50, very important. So again, this is kind of your zone right now, 45.50 to 47. You're likely going to see fades back and forth in this zone. Eventually, a push through the LVN targets 5-day VPOC at 49s. Failure to hold 45.50 could open up a significant round of selling pressure into our next key levels below. Again, those next key levels below are going to be 43.03 and 42. All right, let's take a look now at gold futures. Here's a look at gold. Let's take a look at the daily time frame of gold. One thing I've mentioned to our traders is that gold is super volatile right now. For the most part, it's been trending higher. Gold wants to continue to push higher, it seems. That's been the MO all year long. But right now, look at this tightly quoted price action. I mean, significantly tightly quoted price action. Not a whole lot going on here. Inside day after inside day. That right there obviously implies that prices are basically generating fuel in here ahead of the next move. Which way are we going to go remains to be seen. But one thing I've mentioned to our traders is the best area to watch for a buy is between 1306 and 1310. So should price drop into this area, this still offers the best opportunity for bulls to defend and swing back across the range into 1370 to 1380. Failure to hold above 1306 opens a return back to 1252 to 1243. So right now, until price hits one of those zones, there's nothing really to do, at least on my end. But we do have some significant expansion opportunity ahead, given this tightly coiled range. Lastly, let's take a look at the NQ. 45.50 has been our important key level here, and so far prices have held above it. As I always mention, despite the fact that price is holding above resistance does not mean or guarantee that we're just going to continue higher. Oftentimes, if price can't hold above resistance and it just sits there without making new highs, usually all of these bulls, if they don't get paid, their sell stops are just below 45.50s. So if they don't get paid and you see a rejection here, that could spark a massive sell-off back toward value, and that's 43.28. So right now, I'm still watching 45.50. As long as we're above this zone, short-term, bulls are trying to buy dips for a continuation higher. It's really not my bag to buy at these levels. Most of the time, I'm looking for sell-offs to engage. I'm not one to buy at highs. So I'm just patiently waiting up here to see how this thing's going to play out. Again, 45.50 failure to hold there could be a great selling opportunity back down. But until that occurs, again, we got to let this thing build out, and continued near-term strength is still being seen. On an intraday basis right now, if we take a look at the intraday chart, you can see there's not really a whole lot going on right now in overnight trading. The previous session's close when offered. VWAP is trending downward. And that tells you right there that right now short-term bears have it. I would say any return into the previous session's close offers an opportunity for bears to defend and return back toward recent lows. So that's going to be the early idea right now. Again, should price push down toward support here or toward this LVN on a 5-day basis, that's 45.50. That could be a short-term opportunity to push it back up. But again, not a whole lot to go by right now. So we have to continue to be patient. This is summer trading. Not every single day is a trading day during the summer. You got to be patient and wait for the opportunities that make the most sense. Right now, I would say 46.10 here is a very important level. So if price pushes up into this zone, you got to be mindful that bears are likely going to look to defend for a shot at pushing this thing downward, at least short term. Above 46.10 opens up a return to new highs. So that's going to be the pivot to watch here as we head into the day. All right, that's it for now. We'll see how this thing plays out the rest of the session. Good luck and trade well.